Hey everybody, welcome to part 9. But before I dive into part 9, I just wanted to make a quick comment about some of these items from part 8. I have now learned that apparently this is called a rotary broach, and it's typically used in a magnetic mounted drill. So one of those big magnetic mini drill presses with a big old magnet on it that you can attach to like a steel beam during fabrication and construction of some really heavy duty stuff. So I think that's what this is. I still have absolutely no idea what these are. I think this, even though the number didn't pan out, I think this is just a big spiral cut reamer. I think it's cobalt. These that had good part number, well, they had very descriptive part numbers all over them. Also did not pan out. I still have no idea what these are, but I'm wondering whether or not these also might not be from maybe use in a mag mount drill. All right, so let's get into the stuff for part 9. Let's see what's in this box. So I spotted a couple of these blue packages, and one of them was opened, had a rip in it, and turns out these are brand new drill bits. CBLT, I guess that's cobalt. These are 27/64ths, quantity of 6 in each package. This one's open. These look like these are 29/64ths. These say they're made in the USA, and the drills themselves are just marked CO USA. Nice score on drill bits. Let's see what else is in here. Let me just sort this real quick. Found a third pack of these 27/64ths drill bits. Couple miscellaneous loose ones, some bags of new drill bits. These are number 10s, number 21s. Precision Twist Drill Company 37/64ths, number 2 Morse taper. Oh, cool. And then this whole pile right here is all hardware for hold downs. So there are T-nuts, studs, nuts with the flanges on them. Different sizes. These are smaller ones. These will fit I think these will fit the Wells Index mill. These small ones here might fit like a rotary table or something like that. A lot of this stuff is brand new in the package. It's marked MHC. So that's a nice little score there. That's going to come in handy. I don't think you can ever have enough of those. Oh, I found this little set. Appears to be missing one. Case is in bad shape and everything. But these are fine thread SAE hex rethreader dies for fine threads, 1/4 inch through 5/8. So these must be like basically thread chasers. If you got a thread that's damaged and you want to try and recover it, I guess you'd start one of these on it and wrench down on it, and it's supposed to recut the threads. So those might come in handy. Oh, just found it. So that is a complete set. Couple of Scotch-Brite pads, brand new. Those always come in handy. Lowly 13/64ths inch drill bit. This looks like it's going to be probably a Jacobs taper to straight shank arbor. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but there is up here. It says 3/4 inch. It's a Bison, and it's 3/4 inch, and then I think it says J3. So there's probably a Jacobs J3 taper and to a 3/4 inch straight shank, so that might come in handy. A bag of 4 or 5 used end mills, high speed steel, nothing remarkable. 6 brand new 29/64ths CT drills. These are Greenfield Industries. Here's a bunch of end mills, either new or very lightly used. They all seem to be in excellent condition. There's a nice roughing end mill in there. This one is a 1/4 inch shank, 1/8 inch cut, solid carbide end mill. That's a tiny one there. 2 small straight flute reamers, and a brand new unused key for knocking out a Morse taper. Not 1 but 2 made in India. This is a 5-piece high-speed steel combined drill and countersink set, 60 degree. That's just a little set of countersinks there, so you have each side's handy. This is a little warning here about making sure that you protect yourself from these high quality countersinks. And last thing in this little box is, this is a SKU number. This is also made in India. This is a vice stop. Oh, okay. This might a little bit of surface rust on it from hanging around. Oh, okay, sure. I got a couple of these. But this clamps onto the top of your jaw of your vise and gives you a little stop right here, a little positive stop. So if you're doing multiple of the same item, you can just release, put the next piece in, do your operation, you're all set. Not completely useless, redundant, but not useless. Now let's just blow through whatever's in this box and then we'll conclude part 9. I found these casters and I just thought, man, they look really rugged. These look like the things that would be like on the bottom of a hospital bed or something, like something really rugged. These are RT Baird, B-A-I-R-D Incorporated, and there's a toll-free number on here, and there's a serial number, and then there's a capacity, but it's not a weight. It actually has got a number, so I don't know if there's some kind of a industry standard or something that this means it complies to, or if you got to look up the model number, but it's an R1291-T. They actually have brakes on them. Remind me of what you see on the bottom of like a hospital bed or an x-ray machine or something. And we got, all right, so all that's in this box are these big 4 humongous casters. So let's grab something else. And this will be the last item in this segment. There were several electronic test equipment related items and laboratory type of electrical items that were there that I had no interest in because they were pretty old for the most part and probably obsolete in usage. But this caught my eye, and I just thought it might be something I might want to have down the road on my test bench. I do like to dabble still in electronics. I'm an electronics technician, is what I was originally trained to do. And anyways, so what this is this is a, well, exactly what it says. It's a model 150B microvolt ammeter by Keithley Instruments. When this was purchased new, this would have been a very expensive piece of equipment, and now it falls under the heading of obsolete, old, outdated type of equipment. But the thing is, it's a micro ammeter, so this could be refurbished and brought back to usage, and anybody who wanted to be able to measure very low amperage, could use something like this still. So it's got this really funky connector on here, and it's got alligator clips on the end, and we've got a range over here, which it looks like microamperes, millivolts, microvolts. It's a microvolt ammeter. That's interesting. Okay, so this is actually a voltmeter or an ammeter, depending on what you want to measure. And we got a function switch right here, open volts. Then there's a 100K feature, which probably, since that's in the volts position, I'm assuming that might put a shunt across the input. And then there's the amps position here, and then we've got over here we've got a filter. So yeah, this is not the kind of thing I would have dealt with back in my day. Zero suppress, coarse and fine. So that's almost like the outer knob's a range feature and the inner knob's a fine. And up here is I've got it plugged in now, but I haven't tried this thing since I got it. So we get a battery position, which I turn it to battery. It does absolutely nothing, which makes sense because it's probably, if there's a battery in there, it's completely dead. And then if we flip it to the left, it should turn on. All right, so that made a kind of funny noise, and it pegged the meter to the left. We might be able to zero it though. Oh, there's a cooling fan in there. Well, I've been playing with this thing for a few minutes now, and this appears to be a sick puppy. See See, the meter is just kind of bouncing around. At one point it went to full scale deflection, and then on its own it went back to full scale negative the other way, because it's trying to do something. This zeroing doesn't seem to want to do anything. This could be a number of different things that could be going on here. We could have very dirty contacts in some of these range selector switches and other various switches, which could be causing a real problem. The other possibility is we could have some components in there, namely capacitors more than likely, that are their value has gone squirrely, or could even just be a lot of bad connections. I wouldn't be surprised if just tapping it would make it do some things that we wouldn't expect it to do. You know, I put it on the highest range and it settles down, which makes sense because it would be less sensitive at the highest range. Oh, there you go. Now look. Now I can go all the way back down to the lowest range and it's acting dead again. So don't know much about this thing, and maybe at some point when I have time, maybe I'll play around with it. Funny, when I search for this unit on eBay, if you put Keithley Instruments in, you don't get too many hits, but if you drop Instruments and just put Keithley 150B, you get more hits. So I'm wondering how many people are not finding what they're looking for if they're looking for one of these. But there's a few on here. Here's one for $100 with free shipping. It's for parts or repair. 150 or best offer, parts or repair, parts only, it says. As is, $100 or best offer. Let's see if anybody's actually buying any of these things. Oh, there's one. Sold back in April, $36.75. That might have even been a working one because it doesn't necessarily, just says pre-owned. Apparently it was $49 or best offer, and somebody decided to pay $36.75 for it or something like that. There you go. Power's on. Needle in meter deflects full left. Well, that's what mine was doing until it decided to start bouncing around. Ooh, now that fan is actually slowing down and it's starting to sound pretty bad. I think I'm gonna shut this down. I don't want to further damage it, because I might actually take this apart, try cleaning it up, and maybe changing some of the filter caps that are probably old as heck in this thing, and seeing if I can't get it to work normally. Alright, so I'm going to close out part 9 right here.